Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Mr. Kovold, and in this video I'm going to be going over uncertainty in measurements. I'm going to be talking about how do you record or when do you record to the last digit with regard to your measuring device. So let's get into this. So here I have two examples of a graduated cylinder. Let's assume this is a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder. And in this case, I have my meniscus here. And if I was to record the volume of this fluid, let's say it's water, if I am recording the volume of this water, I would be paying attention to the increments here. Since I have 5 milliliters here and I have 6 milliliters here, and I have 10 spaces, the difference between 5 and 6 is 1, and then I would divide this 1 milliliter into 10 spaces. That means that each space, each line represents a tenth of a milliliter. So that means that if I have my marking here, that would be 5.1 milliliters, and 5.2 here, 5.3, and 5.4, and 5.5, and so on. So this measurement allows me some certainty to the point one of the measurement, but I'm allowed one estimation. So whenever you are writing down your significant figures of a measurement, you're always allowed any digit that is certain and then one estimated digit over from your last certain digit. So my last certain digit here would be in the tenths place. So I'm allowed to estimate one digit more to the next decimal place over, which would be the hundredths place. So let's say, for example, in this example here, I have for certain, I know that my water level here, I'm looking at the bottom of the meniscus, right? So there's the bottom of the meniscus. I know for certain that the bottom of the meniscus is past this line here, which is the point 0.1, point 0.2, point 0.3, point 0.4 milliliter line. So that means that I know for certain that it's 5. So the 5 is for certain because here's the marking for 5 milliliters. It's well above the 5, so that's for certain. And now for the tenths place, I know it's point 0.1, point 0.2, point 0.3, point 0.4. So I know for certain it's at least point 0.4. So there's my two certain digits, 5 and point 0.4. Now I know it's above there, so now I can estimate that what this is here. So this I can kind of estimate. Oh, maybe it's 0.02. So maybe it's 2/10 of the way between these. So I can estimate this last digit here as a 2. Someone else might read that as a 1. Someone else might read it as a 3. But that's where my estimation comes in. That's where the uncertainty comes in my measurement. So I'm allowed my certain digits, the ones I know for sure, and then my last digit is the estimated digit. I'm allowed one of those. I can't go any further than that. So this would be my estimation. This would be my recorded value of this volume here. Now, what about over here where it looks like it's on the line, right? So here, again, this is 5 milliliters. Each line is zero point 0.1. So here, this line represents 5.5 milliliters. So here, I'm still allowed to estimate over one more digit. So I know that it's a 5 and 5 milliliters right here, and I know it's zero point 0.5 here, but at the same time, I'm kind of estimating that it's on the line, right? If I estimate that it's on the line, then it's going to be one digit over. I would have to write that as a 0. So if I'm going to write this, so that would be 5, right? and then 0.5, and then I am allowed 1 digit over the 0, right? So that would be, I need to write the 0. So if I know it's on the line, my bottom of the meniscus is on the line, then I write the 0 because I'm allowed 1 more digit over. So this would be my estimated digit. So these are 2 examples of how you would read your graduated cylinder or some other volume measuring device. Or it doesn't have to be volume, it could be length. It would work the same way with a ruler if you're measuring in centimeters, and so on. So that's given the device. Now notice that I've estimated 1 digit over to get to the hundredth place. But sometimes you're not allowed to do that. So in the case if of the manufacturer of your measuring instrument tells you what the uncertainty is, then you have to measure to that uncertainty and not any further. So for example, if my graduated cylinder, if the manufacturer tells me that the uncertainty is plus or minus 0.1 milliliters, then that means that all of my measures must be, or measurements must be limited to the tenths place, not the hundredths place. So if this was my recording based on the assumption that I could go to the hundredths place, I wouldn't be able to record that anymore. I would have to round to the tenths place. So since this 2 here is less than 5, then I don't round the 4. So my measurement, my recorded measure in my lab notebook would be 5.4 milliliters. So that would be the recording if the manufacturer is telling me that that is the uncertainty of the instrument. Same thing here. So here, if my uncertainty is limited to the tenths place, then I am not allowed to put the 0. So I would have to record 5.5 milliliters. Should have the milliliters there too. So that would be the recording of my measurement based on what the manufacturer is telling me. If I don't have any information from the manufacturer, then I can assume that I can read this normally, and based on the markings, I can estimate to the hundredths place. So keep that in mind when you are using your measuring instruments to record, to figure out how many digits you need to record or how many significant figures you need to record in your measurement. Now, what about digital readouts, right? So we use these digital scales, these digital balances in the lab. You have a digital thermometer maybe. How many digits do I keep there? Well, in that case, unless you're told otherwise, record all of the digits on the display, including any zeros that are at the end of your number. So those are the trailing zeros. Those are going to be significant. Again, unless you're told otherwise by the manufacturer, record all of those digits that you see on the readout. So that's it for this video. I hope you found this interesting or helpful. If you did, then by all means, hit that like button. Also, share your video with your friends, not my friends. You don't know my friends unless you know me. But by all means, subscribe to my channel, share my channel with other people. If you subscribe to my channel, hit that all button so you can be notified by all the videos I put out. And then finally, put a comment down below, ask me questions, and that way I can respond to your questions. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.